Hi, this is a follow-up to a video that I made, kind of briefly explained why anarchy is traditionally seen as a left-wing ideology, and but it doesn't always fit that mold. I myself am a right-wing anarchist, I guess you could call me. I support capitalism and the right to private property, but I don't consider myself left-wing or right-wing politically, because anarchy is really only a political ideology by default. Anarchy is technically apolitical and has no centralized authority figure to dictate or mandate life, or enforce some standard on any political level. There's no collective decision making, as this would require some sort of like centralized authority. It would not be really autocratic at all. Theoretically, this is kind of more akin to life under a monarch than the employer-employee relationship that a lot of anti-capitalists claim is not anarchic. But the voluntary exchange for work for goods is not enslavement. It's actually mutual exchange. It's all voluntary. Charging more than it costs to make something is not theft. That's market pricing. It's keeping a business in operation. Having more than anyone else is not theft either, because wealth is not some like finite pie that we all get a certain sized slice from. When it comes to wealth, you kind of either have a pie of your own or you don't have a pie. It's not like we share this finite amount of resources or something like that. Yeah, and then to enforce any sort of like collective property ownership, you would need some sort of centralized authority to divide resources, allocate resources, and that's kind of dictating or ruling the life of people. While there might be some sort of like process of repeal or appeal for an individual to these collective decisions, it's still kind of a collective mandating life for the individual, so it's not really anarchic. The practical application of anarchy would probably manifest in the form of laissez-faire business practices. That would result in, open competition, market pricing, things like that, private ownership of property. So anarchy really seems to be more of a right-wing ideology when you look at it like that. But once again, like I said, it's apolitical. I'm not really here to tell anybody how to live their lives or what to do. Unless you're someone like Pierre Proudhon or Peter Kropotkin that didn't quite understand the relationship between the system of exchange and the state. Didn't really understand that connection probably shouldn't have really been there in the first place. So, and the enemy of freedom is not exchange, it's government. So they kind of missed the target there a little bit on that one. And we've been, I guess, trying to resolve that issue for the past 200 years. So, in conclusion, once again, I think anarchy is technically probably more of a right-wing ideology, but really it kind of floats between both, because I advocate social justice, but not through redistribution of wealth or anything like that. I have egalitarian values, but not when it comes to wealth and goods and sharing resources. I just basically feel that social justice comes in the form of private property and personal accountability, personal freedom, and that's just how I feel. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to post them on the video. I'll address things later on. I'll have a good day. Y'all be safe.